Hey, welcome back to IntyCenter, everybody, for our last recorded whip around Fiduse. Because let me tell you, with the crazy results we got in this set of games, we are definitely going to be broadcasting live the last series of games. I don't know how those of you who have stakes in this can keep your heart rate down. I am like pumped up, excited reading some of these box scores, recapping them, seeing these results. Hopefully, they get you pumped up too. And let's jump into it where with their backs against the wall, Sithy sent Mike Scott to pitch, and he delivered a quality start for him. Scott goes 7 2/3 innings. He gives up 1 run on 5 hits, and he struck out 6. Lou Whitaker has a solo homer off Maddox in the 4th inning. Babe Ruth gets a 2-run shot in the 5th, and Sithy do what they got to do. They win their opener 5-1. But would Sithy be able to make up any ground? First, we check in with San Francisco, where the Diamondbacks hosted arch rivals, a shack of their own. Cleveland's own Ed Delahunty got them going early with a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. Denny Lyons gets one back for a shack of their own in the 4th on an RBI single, and Troy Tulowitzki ties it up at 2 in the 7th on a solo homer. In the bottom of the 7th, Jimmy Rollins would single, steal second, and score on a single from Juan Soto to put the Diamondbacks back on top. Grasshopper Jim pitches the 8th. He gets a final line of 2 runs allowed on 6 hits with 8 strikeouts and 1 walk. Corey Kluber works around a 2-out single to get the save and get a big win for the Diamondbacks. We then head up to Alaska, where recently eliminated Game of Thrones host the Gales in November. And Jose Rio, embracing the role of spoiler, is just phenomenal. He tosses a complete game shutout. He gives up just 4 hits. Bullet Rogan's good. 2 runs on 6 hits in 7 innings, but not good enough against the masterful Rijo. Joe Medwick has a pair of RBIs, and the Kings in the North win it 3-0. So with 5 games left, this is what it looks like. The Diamondbacks lead the chase for that wild card spot. Gales in November are 1 game back. Sithy still sit 2 games back. Turning our eyes now towards the race for the number 2 wild card spot. Amazings travel to Columbia to take on the Family Madrigal. Madrigal jump out to a 2-0 lead early, and Walter Johnson is cruising until the 6th inning by that same 2-0 scoreline. But in the 6th, Bryce Harper gets Amazings on the board with an RBI single. Ty Cobb hits a 2-run homer as part of a 3-run 7th inning. Amazings take a 4-2 lead. They stretch it to 6-2. Family Madrigal rally. They get to within 2. They've got Billy Hamilton on second base with 2 outs in the 9th. And John Riley grounds out. Amazings win it 6-4. So performance enhancers need a win to keep pace, and they host Stone Temple Seattle Pilots. Steve Carlton and Old Hoss Radburn have nearly identical lines. Each give up 5 runs on 9 hits, though, to be fair to Old Hoss, only 4 of his were earned, and he went 6 1/3 innings while Carlton went only 6. Still, this one would come down to the bullpens, and after being told explicitly not to use Charlie Bender in relief, Magnum PI used him in relief. He gives up 2 runs, lets all 3 inherited runners score. That means with 5 games left, Amazings and the Enhancers remain tied as the Pilots take that one, as the Enhancers take that one 7-5. It also means the Pilots' hopes for division title are basically dead, as that drops a shack of their own's magic number to 1 with 5 games to play. Elsewhere, Lou Boudreau had a homer and a double as he led the Baby Yodas to a 7-5 win over the Orange Barrels. And Andy Pettit tossed 7 strong innings, and Lou Gehrig homered as the Bandwagoners beat Ciorak 5-2. On to the second game, and Smokey Joe Wood was just what the doctor ordered for Sithy of Ostenar with their backs against the wall. Wood tosses a complete game. He gives up 1 run on 9 hits. He strikes out 10. He walks nobody. Babe Ruth hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd to back him. Stan Musial, back from suspension, hit a 2-run homer in the 7th, and Sithy roll to a big 7-1 victory. Now, one of the teams Sithy is chasing, the Gales in November, they found themselves down 3-2 entering the 9th. But a leadoff single by Duke Snyder for the tying run on the bases. Deion Sanders comes out to pinch run. Josh Gibson gets a single. Sanders goes 1st to 3rd. The tying run is 90 feet away with nobody out. Ron Santo, though, grounds out to 3rd. Sanders gets held put, Gibson moves to second. It's now second and third with one out. Robinson Cano draws a walk. Shane Mack is up, bases loaded, one out. And Mack hits a grounder back to the mound. They retire Sanders at home for the second out. John Snow goes to the pen. He brings in Eddie Chicote to face Carlos Correa. And Chicote needs just 3 pitches. Correa swings and misses all 3 of them. It's a true gut punch of a loss for the Gales of November. They fall 3-2 in this one. And the team that they're both chasing, the Demon Bags, they were down 2-1 in the 6th until who else? Cleveland's own Ed Delahunty homers to tie it up. Top of the 7th, a shack of their own take the lead back on a sac fly from Deacon Felipe. But the Demon Bags tie it right back up at 3 on an RBI single from Charles Johnson. But with 2 outs in the 8th, Tip O'Neill hits a grand slam homer. It breaks the tie. It ends the night for Sandy Koufax. Felipe makes like Kylo Ren, finishing what he started. Gets the complete game. The Demon Bags fall 7-3. With the win, a shack of their own officially clinched the division title, and with the loss, the Demon Bags still lead the chase for that final wildcard spot, but now there's only one game between them and both the Gales of November and Sithy. We're setting up for a crazy ending. Speaking of crazy chases, let's look at that Amazings Enhancers chase for home field in their playoff series. After each team scored 2 in the first innings to have it 2-2, Amazings used a 5-run third inning to seemingly take control of the game, highlighted by a bases loaded and bases clearing double from Nolan Arenado. But the Family Madrigal had a 5-run inning of their own, this one coming in the 5th to tie the game up. They didn't have any big hits. They did have 4 run scoring hits and a sac fly in that inning as the Family Madrigal continued to play like some slap-hitting shit goblins. A Jim Fogarty solo homer in the 7th put Madrigal on top, but Frankie Frisch doubles in Arenado in the 8th to tie it back up. And Arenado, whose back's got to be hurting right now from carrying Amazings on it, gets an RBI double in the top of the 9th to put Amazings back on top. We weren't done with drama, though. Nolan Ryan walks the first 2 batters in the bottom of the 9th, but he retires the next 3, including 2 strikeouts. He gets the save, and it's a wild 9-8 victory for Amazings. No such drama in the other game to watch in that competition, as Doc Gooden made sure the Enhancers kept pace with Amazings. He went the distance. He gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Magnum PI decides to use both Jacob deGrom and Pedro Martinez in relief, probably because he secretly hates Tom. I'm not sure why. Tom's a good guy. Magnum, stop hating Tom. The Enhancers win 8-1. They remain tied with Amazings in the standings with 4 games to play. In our non-playoff watch games, Mandalore took on the Barrels. The Barrels rallied late. They got 2 runs in the 8th. They couldn't get any closer. They fall to the Yodas 5-4. And hashtag not an ace kind of looked like one in this one. Garrett Cole tosses 8 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball. Joe Morgan homers twice, and Ciorak beats up the bandwagoners 9-1. On to the last set of games. And could Warren Spahn make it 3 top-notch starts and must-win games for Sithy? Yes. Yes, he could. Spahn goes 6 innings. He gives up 1 run on 5 hits. In the surprise of the century, Sean's bullpen holds on. Andrew Miller with 2 scoreless innings of relief. Sean Doolittle works a scoreless 9th for the save. Sithy wins it 3-1 as they sweep Let's Play 2. It didn't look like it was heading that way. Let's Play 2 was up 1-0 heading to the 7th inning with a first inning Hank Aaron RBI single looking like it might be the only run of the game. But in the 7th, Trey Turner reaches on an error by Mike Schmidt. Stan Musial draws a walk, and Babe Ruth hits a baseball 406 feet. The only runs scored in the game comes from the bat of Aaron and Ruth. I fucking love this game. Sithy again wins that one 3-1. Puts all kinds of pressure on the other 2 teams. Gales of November, they need to avoid a sweep and stay level with Sithy, a team that was chasing them entering this set of games. And they get off to a hot start against Game of Thrones. Al Simmons absolutely crushes one, more than 450 feet for a 2-run homer in the top of the first and an early 2-0 lead, but things would not go the Gales' way the rest of the game. Game of Thrones scores 3 times in the second to take the lead. They got insurance runs in the third and fourth, and the Gales drop this one 5-3. They get swept in crunch time. Third team in the equation, the Demon Bags. Well, they had a roller coaster of emotions in their finale against Shaq. Jimmy Rollins opens the game with a triple and scores on a single from Juan Soto. That puts them up 1-0 early. That's the good. The bad, Fernando Valenzuela leaves the game with an apparent shoulder injury after just 2 innings. Mark Feidrich pitched well in relief, giving up just 4 hits, but he did give up 2 runs. And that first inning run was the only one the Diamondbacks would get off of Shaq starter Cy Blanton, who goes 8 innings and gives up 1 run on 6 hits. In the ninth, with Noodles Hahn on, the Diamondbacks get a 2-out walk from Charles Johnson and a single by Todd Helton. That puts the tying run on third and the winning run on first. Jimmy Rollins can't take advantage. He grounds out. A Shack of their own wins the game 2-1. That means as we head into the final 3 games, the Diamondbacks are now tied with Sithy for that final wild card spot, and the Gales in November are now 1 game back. Holy crap, we are in for one crazy finish to the regular season. To our other chase, Amazings jumped out to an 8-1 lead on Madrigal. They withstand a late rally. They hold on and win that one 9-6. Opposite happens to the Enhancers. A 2-out, 2-run homer from Joe Kelly caps a 4-run 8th inning for Stone Temple Seattle Pilots. They come from behind and stun the Enhancers, get that win 8-5. That means with 3 games left, Amazings now lead the Enhancers by a single game. Again, what's crucial there is home field advantage. Those 2 teams are locked in. They will face each other as the 2 and 3 seed. The question is, who's the 2 and who's the 3? In our non-playoff games, Kurt Schilling goes 7 innings, gives up 1 run on 7 hits. He does slightly better than Catfish Hunter, who went 7 innings, giving up 2 runs on 8 hits. But Schilling's bullpen blows it. Sparky Lau gives it the tying run in the 8th, and then lets Mickey Mantle walk it off with a single in the 9th. The Bandwagoners win it 3-2. And then I didn't really see anything worthwhile to recap in the Baby Yoda's Orange Barrels game. Hanley Ramirez homered, but the Yodas topped the Barrels 5-3, and it's enough said about that game. Hey, that's going to do it for IntyCenter, apparently for the season, because we're coming at you for a live broadcast for the last 3 games of the regular season. No idea what's going to happen. We're in store for a lot of drama. Hope to see as many of you as possible then. That's me signing off for IntyCenter. Thanks so much.